Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Medico's Guide, and this is the second part of this video, which is the ECG interpretation. And here in this video we are going to be discussing about the steps of the rhythm analysis in a great detail. So what are the steps in the rhythm analysis? These include calculate rate, determine regularity, assess the P waves, determine PR interval, and determine QRS duration. Now let's discuss them one by one. Heart rate determination, that is the first step in the rhythm analysis. The presence of artifact, that is extraneous deflections of the waveform caused by movement or electrical interference, may render inaccurate the displayed or the printed heart rate. It is possible to calculate or to estimate a heart rate from a printed ECG strip recording paper, which is divided into 1 mm squares and larger 5 mm squares, which are defined by heavier lines. Standard paper speed for an ECG recording is a rate of 25 mm per second. Each millimeter of the length then represents 1/25th or 0.04 seconds. Each 5 mm block represents 1/5 or 0.20 seconds. Some monitor systems place a mark on the recording paper at 25 mm or 1 second intervals. Now there are different methods to calculate the heart rate. First, it can be count the big boxes between two R waves and then divide them by 300. Or you can count the small boxes between two R waves and then divide by 1500. You can also count the R waves in 6-second strip and then multiply with 10. And the other way to calculate the heart rate is to memorize the pattern of the numbers, which are 300, 150, 100, 75, 60, 50, and so on, and these are to be applied on a strip. Now let's discuss each method in detail. Okay, so one of the methods to calculate the heart rate is to count the number of the R waves in a 6-second rhythm strip and then multiply by 10. So here in the 6-second rhythm strip, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 R waves. And now when we multiply this 9 with the 10, it makes 90. So the heart rate here is 90. Now let's calculate the heart rate via other methods. So here in this type, we are going to apply a method in which we have to calculate the number of the big boxes between two R waves. So let's consider these two R waves, and now we have to calculate the number of the big boxes between them. So this is the one big box, a complete big box, then this is a second, this is the third one, and now we can consider this big box as less than half big box. So in total, it makes around 3.4 big boxes. Now we have to divide this by 300. So let's see what's the answer. So 300 divided by 3.4, it makes 88.23. So this is your answer when you're going to calculate the number of the big boxes between the two R waves, and then you're going to divide it by 300, so it makes 88.23. Okay, now let's apply another method for calculating the heart rate, and this is going to be the same as the previous one, but here there is a bit difference in that we are going to calculate the number of small boxes between two R waves and then we'll be dividing it by 1500. So let's consider the same two R waves as before, and now we are going to calculate number of small boxes between them. So as we can see, first, to make it easy, we have three big boxes, and as you know that each big box contains 5 small boxes. So here we have the 5, and now as we have 3 big boxes, it means 5 into 3 makes 15, and as we have two additional boxes here, so this is gonna be added in here, and this makes total 17 big boxes. Now let's calculate the whole ratio. So here now we have to divide it by 1500, and our value is, when it is divided by 17, it makes 88.23. And yes, this method is considered more accurate as compared to the previous one, so you can implement this. Now let's talk about the last technique of calculating the heart rate, and in here we find an R wave located on or near a heavy vertical line. Proceeding to the left of that R wave, for each subsequent heavy vertical line, assign the following numbers: 300 for the first heavy line encountered, and 150 for the next, followed by 100, 75, 60, 50, and then 42. Okay, so let's first talk about how to assign these numbers. So first we have to identify the R wave that exactly falls on a bold heavy line. By bold heavy line, I mean this dark pink color or the sharp pink colored lines on the ECG graph. So here you can see this is the one that exactly correlates or coincides with the bold heavy line. So now as you identify this would be the starting point. And now after this, the next heavy line, that is this, would be assigned a number, one in a sequenced pattern until you encounter a new R wave. So here we have the first one, that is 300, and then we have 150 and then 175. So here you can see that the next R wave falls between the two lines, and these two lines are 100 and 75. So now how are we going to estimate the accurate heart rate? It's between 100 and 75. It's not on a one varied number, that is maybe on the 100 or on the 75, as it is between them. So we have to follow a method, and that is we have to take a difference between 100 and 75, and which makes 25. Now as it is 25, which means that we have to divide this number on 5 small boxes that we can see here between 100 and 75, which means that each small box is going to be a number 5. Now as this R wave is just a small box away from 100, which means that 100 minus 5 makes 95. So our heart rate is 95. I hope you got this. This method is very easy and it is very helpful once you understand this. And if you have any problem understanding it, you can just go behind and watch this clip again. And here you go, we have got 95 heart rate. And let me just summarize it for you so that it might not get messed up in your mind. So first of all, we will identify the R wave that will fall on the bold heavy line. So this was our perfect R wave. And now subsequent heavy lines will be assigned the different numbers in a sequence of the pattern that is given here. So the first one will be given or assigned the 300, the next one will be given 150, and then 100, and so on until we encounter the next R wave. And so here, after 100, we got the R wave. This next R wave is not falling on the heavy bold lines that we have mentioned or assigned a number, so which means that we had to follow this method, and that was to take a difference between 100 and 75, which made 25, and then this 25 had to be divided on the number of boxes, the small boxes between 100 and 75, which were 5. So 25 will be divided by 5 and it makes 5, which means every small box between 100 and 75 is going to be 5. Now, as this R wave was just a small box less than 100, and therefore we can say that the heart rate was 100 minus 5, which makes 95. I hope this is clear to you. Okay guys, and that's it from my side in today's video. We have discussed in great detail about every possible method for calculating the heart rate, and I hope that it is clear to you. And if you found this video helpful, subscribe to my channel and also hit the bell icon so that you won't miss any of my new videos. In the upcoming video, we'll be discussing about the other steps of rhythm analysis as well as the abnormal rhythms, the myocardial infarction, and so much more. So just stay tuned and goodbye. Thanks for watching.